welcome to Week 5 of Football Friday Night. I'm Dave Siseski alongside Tony Quach. Dylan Tyson will join us later on in the show. Tony, the Lima Senior Spartans look to open up Toledo City League play on a high note tonight, taking on Bowsher.
That's right, Dave. We're almost at the halfway mark through the high school football regular season, and we got a full slate of games across Northwest Ohio tonight.
Spartans fresh off a big 45-24 win over Northview on the road tonight to open up conference play, taking on Bowsher. As I said, second half, Spartans up 12 and looking for more. The defense with a near interception by Jalen Webster, but Spartans do force the turnovers on down. Meanwhile, Spartans starting to march down the field. Janias Hall leaves it up, and despite double coverage, Chance Sanders makes the grab to put Lima Senior in the red zone. Hall then is going to finish the job himself on the quarterback keeper. Lima Senior earns back-to-back wins, 39-14 the final. WBL action over at Bat Stadium between the Elida Bulldogs and Wildcats. Dogs 10-5 in the past 15 meetings against their in-town rivals, including last season's 31-10 win. Late second quarter, tied at 7 when Elida's Ryan McHugh is going to pump fake, then go deep over the top of the defense to a wide-open Jackson Colvault, who walks into the end zone for the 53-yard touchdown. But the concern is behind the play. McHugh is down in pain, and he would not return. Certainly hope he's going to be okay. Same score with under 2 minutes to play in the half when the Bulldog defense comes up with a big play. Isaac Earl with the acrobatic interception. That'll end the half. Second half, Vinny Vendetta with the great name and the great pick. Here it comes up with the play there. Wildcats going to get back in this game now. Fourth quarter now from the 1. That's Zach Welsh with the keeper and the score. Bath hands Elida their first loss, 21-17, the final.
Now we head over to Van Wert County. The Cougars look to avenge a heartbreaking 20-19 loss against Wapakoneta last season. Wapak has won 11 of the last 15 meetings against Van Wert. Less than 2 minutes to go in the first half, Caleb Moore finds Kane Page with the pass, and a 27-yard connection results in the 6th. Wapakoneta now leads 28-6. The Skins have the ball once more, but it's Spencer Clay putting a stop to their momentum. Wapakoneta would have to settle for a field goal as they lead 31-6 after the drive. The Cougars with the ball now is going to be Braylon Parker taking it himself. He goes into the end zone. The senior pulls his team closer as Van Wert now trails 31-13. But this game is all Wapakoneta. Moyer hands it off to Jason Niles, and this Redskin senior takes it for a 54-yard rushing touchdown. Wapakoneta wins 41-13. It hasn't been an ideal start for St. Mary's and Ottawa Glandorf, as both teams are still seeking their first dub of the 2023 campaign. The Rough Riders were victorious in last year's meeting with a 41-12 win. We pick things up in the third. St. Mary's leads 28-7. Rough Riders with the ball. Cody Wallace fakes the throw and hands it off to Caleb Schmidt, and he heads on home for a 29-yard rush. St. Mary's leads 35-7 after the PAT. Later in the half, Schmidt sneaks in for a 1-yard rush. St. Mary's goes on to win this game 41-14.
One more game from the WBL taking place over at Fred Brown Stadium as the up-and-coming Defiance Bulldogs hosting the Shawnee Indians, still searching for their first win. No score first half when QB Brez Zipfel says, "Give me the rock and we'll roll." Does the job himself, 8-0 after the 2-point conversion. The Shawnee offense trying to get something going. That's Dom Lynch looking down the field, but then he has to do it himself. Rushes up the middle for the first down, but the drive would stall out. Same score, second quarter. Dogs looking for more. This time from the 2. Zipfel passes to Anthony Wilder for the touchdown. Defiance wins 30-8. One more score in the WBL as Salina on a 3-game win streak coming into tonight, and you can make that 4 as they beat Kenton 44-14, and more importantly, undefeated in conference play. Well, we're set for our first break on Football Friday Night. Still to come, action from the NWC and NWCC, including the Northwest Conference leading Crestview Knights on the road at Goodwin Field, taking on the Mustangs. Our Dylan Tyson brings you those highlights after the break.
Welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. We shift our focus now to the Northwest Conference, where tonight's teams took the field for their second round of conference battles. And while each game featured a 1-0 squad taking on an 0-1 foe, Crestview and Allen East matched up a lot closer than the rest. That's because the Mustangs, who sit at 1-3 overall, their losses come to teams who, between the 3 of them, have only 1 combined loss. Meanwhile, the 3-1 Knights are yet to beat a team above 500 and haven't topped Allen East since 2018, but they're leading this year, 29-20 after halftime, and got the ball to start the third. But the QB's first read's not open, forced to scramble, and it's Allen East's Ethan Young making the leaping grab for a crucial interception, giving his guys a chance to get back in the game. That is, until a chop block is called on the return, and it backs them up to their own 9. Then on 3rd and 10, the pocket collapses around Allen East. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a safety. It's Braxton Leaf on the pressure. Knights up 31-20. And after the safety, the ball is back in their hands, and Leaf getting it done on offense as well. 26-yard pickup for the sophomore, and a first-and-goal Crestview. Few plays later, quarterback Bryson Penix calls his own number and takes it in for the score. Crestview explosive out the locker room. They get a statement win, 51-28. Over now to War Memorial Stadium, home of the Ada Bulldogs, who are seeking that first NWC win of the year, but it'd be a daunting task against undefeated Leipzig, who ranked 15th in the first Division 7 AP poll. This one starts as a defensive slugfest. Vikings face another fourth down on their second drive, but Quinn Schrader wide open for their biggest play of the night so far. That will set up a walk-in touchdown for Trent Siefker, and Leipzig is going to get on the board first. 7-0 Vikes. But the Bulldogs are right there with them. His very next drive, Levi Green uncorks it, going deep, and finds Caleb Hickman up top. Big gain for Ada, puts him inside the 10, but Leipzig defense stiffens and forces a field goal. Not the outcome Ada wanted, but they've got the answers, as into the second quarter, it's Green again. This time keeping it himself, following his blockers, and finding the end zone. Bulldogs have stunned the Vikings early with a 10-7 lead. That just lights the fire for Leipzig, though. Ensuing drive, they take it 65 yards in just 7 plays, capped off by Esteban Carrillo to put the Vikings back ahead. This one turns into a shootout, but Leipzig stays unbeaten, 55-24. Up third in the NWC, it's another state-ranked squad on the road. The Bluffton Pirates, voted the 7th best team in Ohio's Division 6, travel to Spencerville in search of win number 5, which would already match their win total from last season. Bluffton gets the ball to open this one, and very quickly they get on the board. It's Landon Worcester finding the hole and breaking loose. Nobody's going to catch him, as he'll take it 50 yards all the way for the touchdown. In just 2 plays, Pirates go up 7-0. Next Bluffton possession, Worcester's going to do it again. Gets the pitch, takes it around the outside, and buries his way into the end zone for 6. Now 14-zip Bluffton. Later, Garrett Bogart hands it off to his twin brother, Gavin Bogart, and he's slicing up that Bearcat defense. Huge gain for Gavin. Will set up a Pirate touchdown later in the drive, bringing their lead to 21. Into the second quarter, Garrett Bogart has his guys inside the 10, rolls out to his left and connects with Braden Jordan in the end zone. It's going to be a shutout for Bluffton, and a big one at that, 56-0.
The Jeff Cats look to crack the win column for the first time this season as they battle a Grove team that's trying to go over 500 with a dub tonight. The last meeting saw Columbus Grove come out on top 38-6 last season. In the first 3 minutes of the game, the road team strikes first. Landon Best takes it himself and drives through for the 6. The 2-point conversion is good as the Dogs lead 8-0. Jefferson looking to get something going, but the Grove Dogs show off their defense as Grant Eversole comes up with a pick. Columbus Grove takes over, and they would capitalize as Best does it again. He heads into the end zone for the score. CG now leads 14-0, and they continue to dominate in this game. Best finds Trent Barraza, and the junior splits through the opposition. Nothing but pay dirt ahead for this Bulldog. Columbus Grove goes on to win 49-0.
Commodores and Polar Bears both trying to rebound from Week 4 losses. Hardin Northern at 2-2, but just 1 game separating them from first place Elgin and WG entering tonight. First quarter, no score. 3rd and 7, Perry's Hunter Scott is going to go to the air, and he's going to find Jason Thomas over the middle, who goes up and gets it and has the awareness to stay up on his feet, finds his way to the end zone. What a play. Perry up 6-0 after the missed PAT. After a costly Perry turnover, though, Polar Bears with the ball on the 18, and they feed the rock to Nolan Hobson, who follows his blocks down the sideline, spinning out of a tackle and into the end zone. Hardin Northern with a 7-6 lead after the extra point. Now, after a short point from their own end, Hobson takes it all the way down to the 10. That was off of a punt. Hobson's going to hand off then to Bo Bame, who runs through a tackle and in for the score. Polar Bears win 42-14. Here's some more scores from the NWCC. USV defeats Ridgedale 50-14. Waynesfield Goshen topples North Baltimore 49-6. And Corey Rawson falls on the road against the Elgin Comets 50-14. Ridgemont wins at home against Crestline 48-6.
We're set for our second and final break on Football Friday night. When we return, we have highlights from the Midwest Athletic Conference and more. Stick around. Welcome back. It's a battle of 2 2022 state champions at Cardinal Stadium. Last year's D6 titleist Marion Local meets the defending Division 7 state champs in New Bremen in an all-MAC battle. And that's why this game is our Football Friday Night Spotlight game.
The Football Friday Night Spotlight game is brought to you by D&D Trucking.
The Flyers look to stay undefeated as they eye their 5th win of the season, while the Cardinals are trying to get over the 500 hump with a win tonight. In the second half, Cardinals trail by 28. Keenan Putoff looks for a target, and he connects with Hayden Zeller. The 14-yard reception gives New Bremen a first down, and it moves the chains. Then Putoff hands it off to Trevor Schaefer, and the 22-yard strike gives the Cards their first points of the game. They now trail 28-7. Later in the half, Marion Local answers back. Justin Knopf decides to let it fly, and on the receiving end is Victor Hochscher. That's a 39-yard reception for the road team, and later in the drive, Ethan Heitkamp punches it in for the score. Marion Local extends their winning streak to 37 with a 42-7 win. We stay in Mercer County as Coldwater attempts to stay undefeated as well. They play host to a 1-3 St. Henry Redskins squad. In the first, Charlie Werling sends the pigskin to Jack Hillsman, and he completes a 5-yard reception for a St. Henry first down. But Coldwater would force a 4-and-out. Now it's Balin Blockberger handing it off to Jack Ebbing, and that's a 9-yard rush that'll keep things moving for the Cavs. And the Cavs continue their drive as Blockberger fights Braylon Harlemert. Coldwater continues to march down the field with a 13-yard gain. And later on in the drive, Blockberger on the quarterback keeper powers his way into the end zone for the game's first points. Cavs take a 7-0 lead. They're going to win this game 33-7.
Well, wrapping up the action at Memorial Field as Minster hosts Anna. Anna offense averaging 44.5 points in their wins, just 24.5 in their losses. Got to have that A-game offense tonight against the 3-1 Cats. Second half, Anna down 28-12, but the defense coming up with a big interception. Mason Hughes ends the drive at the 30. Rockets offense then trying to get a spark going, but Zach Osborne going up the gut for the first down run, but they would turn it over shortly after. And the Cats, well, they're going to take advantage. Big fumble recovery here. It's going to be quarterback James Niemeyer taking the high snap, and he'll hand it off to Connor Smeesing, who runs through the contact and gets the touchdown. Minster gets the win, 35-18 the final. One more score in the MAC. Versailles defense has been stingy this season. Coming into tonight, only giving up 7 points. Well, that's all they gave up tonight. 41-7, the win over Parkway.
And we'll close out the highlights tonight with the Independents Fort Loramie. They took on 1-3 Meadowdale tonight, an opponent the Redskins haven't met in their brief 18-year history. The Lions, a Dayton public school, haven't had a winning season since 2013. Just under 5 minutes to play in the first quarter when the first points get on the board. Loramie quarterback Maxwell Maurer is going to keep it himself. Lays out the stiff arm on his way to the end zone, 7-0 Skins. To the second quarter, Fort Loramie is going to strike again. Will Holland going to break the dive around the outside, plows through a tackler, reaching for the pylon. They give it to him. Fort Loramie is up 14-zip. Under a minute to play in the half, Skins lead 21-0, and they want more. It's Holland again, breaking free from the pack and finding pay dirt. The 28-0 halftime lead will turn into a 42-6 win for Fort Loramie, their second of the year.
Here's some other scores from around the area. LCC falls to Bishop Hartley, 47-13. Finley wins big on the road against Fremont Ross, 49-29. Arcadia falls at home against Grandview Heights, 21-6. Arlington defends home field, 28-21. In BVC play, Liberty Benning comes out on top against Elmwood, 42-0 is the final. And Pandora Gilboa Rockets defeat the defending league champs, Macomb, 42-14. Van Buren defeats Riverdale in a nail-biter, 14-12. The Wayne Trace Raiders with a big win at home against Hicksville, 56-6.
Well, that's how we wrap up week 5 of Football Friday Night Show. Thank you to everyone who helps us put together this show and each and every week.
Yep, and just a really quick message. I know there's a special viewer watching above right now. Patrick, the show is for you. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and we'll bring you highlights from a football game at Stadium Park tomorrow, as well as volleyball and soccer action.
Excited to bring you the rest of the season for Football Friday Nights. We'll see you soon. Have a good night.